My favorite parts about the Xavier games are just the atmosphere. It's always electric. Like, the student section's always so fun. It's really hard to beat. Like, I have been to like many other games. Like, it's just hard to beat the student section we have. Like, no matter who we're playing, it's always sold out. It's always electric. It's just such a fun time. Dana's, it's 10 a.m. on the game day, and there's still people here. It's still packed. People love the game. It's just such a good basketball environment here.
So I've been coming to Dana's since 1980. I grew up in New York, and so how many years? 45?
Bartend here?
I actually worked here. I got a few shifts when we were in school. I worked the bar upstairs after some games. On Thursday nights were a big night. The thing I miss the most about Dana Gardens is when we were in school, Stroh's was a good beer. So they had dollar long neck Stroh's, and then they had a 16-ounce wax cup, dollar Stroh's. And I killed a lot of brain cells here.
Just love being with the people that hang out here at Dana's. Whenever we do come down to a Xavier basketball game, we're here. We come before the game, we'll come after the game, and we have friends and family here. So it's just a great, great spot.
The camaraderie of Dana's, it's a must stop every time we come through. If we're traveling somewhere else, we always try to make it a point to stop here on campus. I had a wonderful experience at Xavier and made a lot of good friends. We were a growing program at the time, so it wasn't as A10 it wasn't even the Big East like it is today. But it was a lot of fun. Again, I'm here in Cincinnati. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm here with some friends from Chicago, other players that played as well. We try to get together once in a while just to relive our experience because it was so good. It was a great experience. I'm just so lucky that I was here, and again, it was a great decision as an 18-year-old, and it's proved me well all through my life.
My name is BJ Haley, one of 5 owners of Dana Gardens. Dana's started in 1935, so this year we are celebrating our 90th year being open. Me and some partners bought Dana's back in 95, reopened January 26th of 96. To get a table or a chair, you're going to need to get here probably 2 hours early. Weekends is probably closer to 3.5 hours early. From there, you're just going to have a couple adult beverages, eat a Miller burger, have some spicy balls, and then just commiserate with all the other Xavier fans. Occasionally make fun of the opposing fans that show up. We welcome everyone. Pricing is dynamic on what colors you're wearing game day, though. So we always get a fun little kick telling the opposing fans that.
UConn early, like a couple weeks ago, it was just jumping. Like everybody came here. There's people outside everywhere, just getting drinks, having a good time after the game.
2 weeks ago, UConn post game, UConn.
Yeah.
The place was packed. There's a line to get in. Best line at Dana's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was going crazy. It was fun. It was so fun.
I personally love the camaraderie. Doing this for 29 years now, I'm starting to see kids of customers that I started with, and it just shows you the longevity that we've had here. And for me, it's just great to see the family, generation to generation of Xavier fans, and coming back here and say, hey, meet Herschel, have a Herschel special. This is BJ. He helped reopen the place. So it's the camaraderie of multi-generations coming back and making sure they say hi and relive some of the good old days.
Oh, well, the Herschel would normally be the go-to. Yeah.
You making you famous?
I'm always famous. I was born famous.
Herschel Ware is our bartender that started his special drink. He's been with us since we reopened in January of '96. I met Herschel back in 1993. I asked Herschel when we opened up if he liked to do any shifts or bartend. He goes, absolutely. And the rest is history.
There we go. 7.
When I was in school, we beat UC a couple times, which is a big night here, huge night. And then when I got married, the day I got married, I spent a few hours here.
So I consider myself a steward of Dana Gardens. Dana's opened in 1935 with the Delaney family. Dan Sr., then Dan Jr. took over. And then when we bought it from them in '95, he had told us that he wasn't going to sell the bar in the building to anybody that wasn't going to keep it a bar. He had 2 other offers that were higher than what we were offering, and he still took ours, knowing that we were going to keep it the way it was. And that's the whole point of this, is the back bar, the main bar, just stuff in general, making sure that we don't dishonor the 90-year legacy that Dana's has.
You know, I was fortunate to graduate from Xavier. I had one of my 3 children come to Xavier. She graduated. And this is sort of a common link we have in our family. You know, everybody knows about this place. My daughter, myself, my other 2 children, they love this place. We've had great family experiences here. We had a graduation party when my daughter Lauren graduated from Xavier here. And, you know, for us, you know, we've had tremendous support from BJ and others. And when my daughter was, my daughter, when she was a junior at Xavier, she was diagnosed with cancer. And when she survived cancer, after 5 years, we had a celebration here and celebrated her 5th year of being cancer-free here. And we had all our family here. So for us, this is just a big family atmosphere, and we love the place.
How excited were you to know that an on-campus arena was coming, and how much did that change this university?
Excited for me because we knew we could walk to games. We didn't have to start here, get a truck full of people, head over to the Gardens, catch traffic on the way back. It was pit stop here, have some stuff, go to the game, walk back, continue celebrating. As for the campus, it brought more life to the campus. The students being able to just roll out of bed and make games. The basketball players being able to walk 500 feet to get extra shots in the morning and then afternoon, at night. It just made the campus whole.
What makes us human? Humanity is found in the actions that redefine care. Actions that we at TriHealth take every day. By seeing those who feel invisible, hearing needs that have been ignored. TriHealth is healing the body and the human spirit, so all can know and live a better life.
Coming from the Atlantic 10, we were the halves. We were in a position of strength, and going through the Big East Conference the first time and seeing those facilities and seeing their operating budgets at work and how they were able to care for all of the things, we were a have-not. I think, you know, the Big East Conference prior to us getting there had been up against football playing conferences and football playing money. So they had already put that investment in. We quickly kind of brought ourselves to the top. I mean, Xavier's facilities, we got our facilities way better, and we did it quickly because our storytelling process and the pictures that we had taken, like, this is now what we're up against. And you all need to understand that if collectively, if we want to be successful at this level, we have to ramp up everything that we do. And Xavier University, Xavier alums responded really, really well. We have a whole lot of things in place, and it happened quickly just because of how important basketball is to Xavier University and people who cared. My name is Seth Breitenstein. I'm the Associate Athletic Director in charge of all fundraising here at Xavier University in their athletic department. Been here 11 years. My first day on the job was December 13th, 2013. We happened to beat UC in my first crosstown shootout. That was a good day. Good way to start. So 11 years, every one of the 11 that we've been in the Big East Conference. We have an incredible team. Our external team is really, really talented too. They're all hardworking. I love being a part of a team. We talk about winning national championships all the time. That is also the standard. Like, this is the standard, and you can see that play out in the student athletes. Our culture. But when you're on a great team that is like iron sharpens iron, and people, it's a lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun to work to be better and to be the best version of yourself, and then try to make everybody else better too. But what goes into it is an immense amount of time and planning, and then the execution and being able to pivot, adjust, what can we do, and having those contingency plans in place. But there's a whole lot of seasoned veterans, and there's some rookies on our team, but everybody is motivated, talented, and hungry for success, and I think that's the whole thing.
Extreme Fans and being on the board of directors here has changed my college experience 100%. I think being on the board is such a unique experience where you feel like that bridge between athletics and the students, and you're like the voice from both sides. You've got athletics telling you how logistically things need to be done, and then you've got students telling you what you want, what they want, and you trying to see that out for them. It taking on that leadership has given me such a great experience when it comes to learning more about working as a team and everything like that. And I'm gonna be so sad to leave everyone behind, but I'm so confident in the people that we have on our board that I know they're gonna take things and go above and beyond in the future. So as the president, I oversee our 3 teams. We originally, when I started on the board, we were just digital and events team split down the middle. We added a communications team because we felt like student outreach was a really big part of what we were doing. So now we have the 3 teams, digital, events, communications. I oversee it. I meet with the marketing team of athletics with our other vice presidents, and then bring our reports back to the board, give us our responsibilities for the week, worry about game day and plans and schedules and stuff like that. So.
My name's Evan Schibble. I'm a senior at Xavier this year, and I'm on the digital team for our Extreme Fans board of directors. So the big one for me specifically is going to be Blob's Banter, which a lot of our students and other fans see on game day. So that's always a fun one. Putting that together every game, digging deep, diving through old social media accounts. I always say it's anything that is going to make a player or a coach take their mind off the game even for a half second or 2 seconds, right? Because while their comeback may be better than the original thing that I said, I'm not too worried about that. I just know that you're not focused on the game for a couple seconds, and that's just enough for us to feel that we're getting under their skin a little bit, the opponents, that is. So that's always a fun one, putting that together, every home game.
So Xavier was actually the first place that I toured, and I was blown away, and I was like, I don't think all the schools are gonna be like this. And one quote that my tour guide said that has stuck with me to this day is the thing that he loved most about Xavier was that it was a small campus, big school feel. And that was something that I was really looking forward to, because I wanted my walk to be kind of close, and I wanted it to be like a tight-knit community, which it is, and have the like big sports, the basketball atmosphere. They brought us in here and they like told us that tickets sell out in 2 seconds or however long it takes. And I didn't know I'd be leading the student section, but I was really excited about it.
I think I can speak for our whole board in saying this. We take an enormous amount of pride in what Xavier's home court environment means and just the impact that it has on winning games, losing games, all those kinds of things. So I think that the biggest thing is, especially I always like to compare it to the other teams that we play in this conference. And if you look around, we're one of the very few teams in the Big East that has the upside of having an on-campus arena and an on-campus environment where the students can walk out of their dorm room and walk across the street and walk straight into one of the most raucous environments in the country. So I just think that, I think we have an enormous amount of pride in showing the rest of the country and the rest of the league especially, how different it is to have this kind of environment right here on campus and how much of an impact we have on, the game.
It's just the coolest thing in the world, right? I've worked at other places where if you get 2,500 people to the game, it's, you're popping a bottle of champagne, you're that excited. And if we get 2,500 people to a Xavier game, ooh, we have a problem. Like there's 10,000 people every single game, and that's an opportunity to welcome someone who it might be their very first Xavier game or their grandchild's very first Xavier game, and you want to make a great impression. A long time ago, I was a former student athlete, and just the experience that I had at App State and the idea that someone who never met me paid for all of that. I mean, I've told the story 100 times. It still moves me. That to me gets me out of bed every day. And if we can do that for our Xavier student athletes, if we can give them the opportunity, and there's so many people at Xavier who are alums or fans who they get to choose where their hard-earned money goes, and every day they choose to pay it forward and invest in young people, especially if the young people have a Xavier X on their chest.
My name is Martha Schuler, and I've been coming to Xavier games since the early 1990s. My family has always been very big Xavier fans. So we started watching them on TV when I was small. I always wanted to go to Xavier. Unfortunately, couldn't afford it. So I just decided when I got older, I wanted to start being able to come to basketball games. So my routine, this goes back since I've almost started coming. So I have to get here as soon as the doors open. And then I go down to traditions. And then for years, I started it's become a superstition. I have to have 2 beers before the game. And everybody knows this. So way back when we were in 2004, when we were in the NCAAs, one of the coach's parents had asked me, it's 9 a.m, and we had an early game, and they said, Martha, have you had your beers yet? And I said, well, I'm gonna go sit in the car and I'm gonna have them now because they didn't have alcohol then in the NCAA tournament. So I had to kind of get those down real quick. So lately when we went on our little losing streak, some friends said, you've gotta change this up. So they said, okay, I think you've gotta switch to wine. So now the last couple games, I've been having 2 glasses of wine. So I have to go buy my bottle of wine for the game on Sunday so I can have my 2 glasses before the game starts.
Wine, and then we lost, so I have 2 bottles of wine in my refrigerator now because I had to switch back to beer.
We screwed it up in New York because of Prosecco.
I know, I didn't have the right wine.
I just think it's the whole experience, getting to meet people, spending time with people. I think the different places where you can go before the game to have a drink, talk to people, have fun. go sit in your seat. They're very comfortable. It's a great view. And then after the game, you can come back to the Joseph Club or one of the other clubs and, talk about the game. I've enjoyed it. And my husband passed away in 2005, and so I had gotten to know a lot of people. They became family with Xavier, so they were actually very, very supportive after my husband died. So I have a really great, place in my heart for Xavier. Actually, I was the one that suggested getting season tickets for Xavier. He traveled. He was an auditor for Chrysler, so he was gone Monday through Friday every week. And so I said, I'm going to get season tickets for Xavier. Is that okay? He said, that's fine. So I did at the Gardens. And then when he was off, he would come to a game with me. Well, he just thought this was the greatest thing ever. I just think, the facility, just an upgrade to everything, getting to know people. It's just been a wonderful experience. So, yeah.
Presentation is important. I think all of it is some sort of showmanship, but that it starts there. And when you see your boss doing that and taking that level of concern in every little detail, it helps inspire, like, this is the standard. And I love that. It would be the same way that Coach Miller and Coach Chambers go about their business. Like, this is the standard. And just making sure people, like, you're a part of this. I know you didn't hit that game-winning shot, but we don't get that young man or young woman here without your investment in this place.
You may know Fort Washington Investment Advisors as an institutional money manager, but you may not know their private client group. The private client group begins every conversation with one simple question: how can we help? And because they're backed by the strength of Western and Southern Financial Group, they focus on you and the people you care about.
For tailored wealth management services designed to help you meet your goals, you can trust Fort Washington's private client group.
I love seeing when our fans are high-fiving each other, are hugging each other. When a grandfather is like picking up his grandson for the first time, like, that stuff matters. And like, I am such a heartstrings guy, but that makes me really happy. And I tie that back into my own childhood. It's like when my dad would bring me to a game or my grandfather would bring me to a game. Sports is it's such a fabric that just connects everything. And it plays out here in Cintas Center. Like, that yarn is not yarn, it's like Kevlar. It is that tight.
Being able to be around the people that you sit with, you develop a relationship, and it's just getting up, being able to cheer, having fun, seeing everybody else have fun. And I think it's a place where it's easy for people to maneuver around. So there's so many things that the Cintas Center, offers to people.
So we have a couple professors that are diehard Xavier fans, and there are fans that we recognize that like the season ticket holders, that like the same fans sit in front of us because they're like the floor seats, and we become like friends with those people because we're all in it together. Like, we're all going to be there for every game, and we're all going to have the same passion for it. So there's always that bond that we have with those people.
We always joke that sports are kind of a break from a lot of the other things you've got going on in your life, whether it be your classes, whether it be family life, politics, all of those things. I like that, while we're a very diverse group of students here at Xavier, and while we have, a widespread variety of opinions, that when we're all here at the game together, we can help lead this large group of students, you know, in song basically together to support, you know, kind of the common cause of Xavier basketball, you know, the brand of Xavier as a whole, and those kinds of things are, yeah, I mean, you can't really top that.
Matt, give me some zoom shots and take 2, please.
From when I started here, we were, you know, using 2 cameras, and, you know, we had tape machines for replay, and it was just your typical small production, and we've kind of grown it from there. Year over year, as we've gotten, you know, new video boards and stuff, we've upgraded. Obviously, this last one was a big one for us. So we've really gone from let's, you know, show the fans a little bit to let's try to beat what TV is doing and make sure that when the fans are here, they're having a better time than they would if they're sitting on their couch. We always make the joke, if it makes noise or lights up, it's our problem. So anything from the LED boards to the lighting effects to the PA system, to how TV interfaces with the building. So generally the day starts with meeting with the TV truck, making sure that they get everything they need. You know, talking about their camera layout, their camera positions, what we're gonna feed to them, what they're gonna feed to us, all that kind of stuff. And then it just kind of rolls downhill from there, having our internal production meetings with our marketing folks here, with our game day producer, director, all that good stuff. And then from there, it's executing the script, getting through the game, and you know, producing a show in between basketball. My favorite part about games here, specifically with our production, is our production room. People may notice the booth that we have that's in the arena. The video side of it is actually off the concourse, and we don't have a view of the court. We don't have a, you know, window out to see what's going on. But when we do something and we hear the crowd react, I think that's probably the coolest part. You know, honestly, it's been one of those things where, you know, obviously the university's changed, the department's changed, you know, staffing levels change, expectations change, all that kind of thing. So we've seen a lot of that through the years, and it just really depends on what the focus is. And right now, you know, our big focus is let's produce, let's beat the couch experience at home, right?
When it's pretty easy to sit on my own couch and watch my big screen TV, they want to be here. I think our fan base is incredible, and year over year over year, they continue to show up. When you go talk to my counterparts across the Big East, like, oh, they're so jealous of the Cintas Center and the energy in this building, and like, you know, you're in deep shit. You are coming into enemy territory, and I say that respectfully, like, no one's over the top, but you are in an away environment, and you know it from the second you come in.
Animate the bug out, please. Ray 3, 3. And insert font 2.
You guys have March Madness ready to go?
Stand by, camera 10 and M1. 35 seconds.
If you can have Thunderstruck still ready to go.
Got 35 seconds left on this.
End up running out of tip-off.
Check. Check 1. Check.
35 seconds left.
I tell my staff all the time, like, when it's that Saturday tip-off and it's a packed house and it's standing room only, like, take a moment. When we're doing the introductions, when the ball is tipped up, when they're singing the national anthem, like, all of that stuff is really, really cool. And that's why you work your tail off for these kind of moments. Take a beat, look around, know that all of your hard work led to this, and you should be proud.
And number 1. 10 under, take 10 under. 10 10's live.
Dalen.
Number 3. 10's live, reset. Zoom in more. Zoom out more as it comes towards you. Beautiful. 10's live. Number 7. 7. 10 new live. 20's coming next, and
20.
hit 20. 10 reset. Stand by for 32. 10's live.
32.
32. Good job today. 10's live. Grade 2. Take 2. Insert font 1 and animate. Oh, it's on font 2. It's good. Stand by. Stand by for tip-off video. And 3, 2, 1. Tip-off video.
It was a beautiful day in Cincinnati. James looked out the window and saw Bud scoping out competition, where James saw none. James, in the spirit of Pella hospitality, invited him in. Bud hoped to find a flaw. Maybe it was in the finish, or the quality, or selection, but he found none. Get your full service, delivery, removal, and installation all included. Call Pella now.
Ready, 1, take 1. Insert bug. Animate bug. Kill CG2. I'm gonna go ahead and insert font 1.
Oh, sorry.
4, get closer. Ready, 1, take 1. Two's live.
Nice skid by number 32, Zach Fremantle. Fremantle from Swain for Xavier.
I think he's a little more calm. Anyway, it appears that way. I could be wrong on that. Well, he hasn't gotten as many technicals as he used to get, so. But yeah, he seems to be calmer. He seems to talk to the players more and stuff, yeah.
Let's do 2 looks. Let's do Joseph. Wipe Joseph, roll Joseph. Can I have the slam cam again? We'll do gold next. Roll gold dissolve. Out to 1, out to 1, and they're about to do it again. Almost, at least.
When we're doing a game, our production, kind of the biggest thing is, everything that happens when the ball's not in play, right? So everybody's kind of paying attention to what happens, but then, there's a foul. Did everybody see what happened? That's where instant replay comes in. That's why we push a lot more replays than you'll generally see on TV. We can see the crowd, the ball, goes out of play or a foul gets called, whatever. We can see people almost immediately look up to the board waiting for that replay to come in. So that's not job number 1, but it's really close to being there.
Nice. Ready, 3, take 3. Ready, let's do Mary. White Mary, roll Mary. Just do 1 look, coming out to 1, and out to 1.
And then from there, it's, trying to do a little bit of storytelling. If someone's having a good game, we want to make sure we're highlighting that. We want to make sure we're paying the bills and executing all the sponsorship things that need to get done. That's mostly driven from our marketing folks, but then, from, executing the visuals, that's on our team. So it's kind of a balancing act between showing the fans what they're going to want to see related to basketball versus, all the rest of it that goes around with it.
For a smaller school, I think it's just exciting what Xavier has become. We've been to a couple Elite Eights. It's so exciting for the fans, that we can travel, we can go and support the team. Everybody can bond together when we're away. You even meet more people. So it's just very impressive. I think just the whole experience, I think the students are awesome. And I think because they're congregated, all together in one area, I think that's great. And they kind of help to stimulate the rest of us to get up and cheer. So I think that's really good.
Oh, it just warms my heart because playing such a big role in that makes me feel like so accomplished at this school. And when it came to the first interaction I had with Sean Miller was when he came and spoke my sophomore year, his first year, to the Manresa freshmen. And he went on this really long thing about how we have such a home court advantage here because of our students. And he kept going on and on about how much he appreciated us. And I felt like he actually had so much respect for us as students and really recognized that we do make a difference here at the games. And he talked about Cintas Center, and since he had been here before, it just felt like the coolest thing to be a part of that competitive advantage that we have here at Cintas.
It's truly one of probably my favorite things about being at Xavier is being able to be a part of a team of 15 or 16 of us that can help lead this large of a student body or this large of a portion of the student body in one direction, right? Again, like I said, with banter, and just general noise and overall decibel level. I think that's a super exciting part of being a part of this board. You get to help lead and kind of cultivate that culture and that, rabid atmosphere.
Our students they are key to the energy in this building, and we are really fortunate to have the student population show up. They're 800, 900 deep for every game, which that doesn't happen everywhere. And we know that, and we focus on that. But there's also 10,000 people who they get off work, they pick up their kids. There's a ton of other things that make it easier, but they show up and their voices are heard, and you can feel it.
When Xavier's able to put together a little 6-0 or 8-0 run and the rest of the crowd gets behind you and everybody's standing up and cheering. Truly it's incredible. I've been very fortunate in my life to see a lot of really great home college basketball atmospheres. I mentioned I'm from Kansas City. I've been to a handful of games at Allen Fieldhouse. I've been to a handful of games around the Big East. I've been to Marquette. I've been to Butler. I've been to Creighton. And outside of Allen Fieldhouse, which is obviously just in a class of its own, everything else, truly, all the other places I've been in the Big East, nothing even comes close, genuinely, to the noise and the just rampant atmosphere that the Cintas Center can make. So I think those moments when you get those kind of longer runs where all of a sudden you got a defensive possession that could really flip the game and the rest of the arena gets behind you and joins in with the students that have been doing it all game, it's a pretty awesome thing.
I think our hearts are in it as much as the team. We feel like we're a part of the team. We almost renamed our student section the Sixth Man because we were like, we are the sixth man. Like when it comes to like the campouts and the lineup, like you have people out at 2 a.m. when tip off is at 8 the next day. And so like for that atmosphere here at Cintas, like I don't think there's a lot of other schools that are necessarily that. Obviously there are, but like we're nationally ranked for our student section. And I really think it's because of the community, the passion, the lining up before, the campouts, like the willingness of the students to go above and beyond to support our team.
The students have a little chant after the games, you know, oh, we go to Dana's, right? And I think that in itself just describes that, you know, after a victory, like that's the spot to be. Everybody knows that. I just think I think Dana's is synonymous with Xavier basketball.
My biggest one that I remember more than anything else was back in '96. It was our first crosstown shootout that we were open. Number 1 in this country, number 2 in the city, called by Andy Mack. I was actually at that game, and just having that arena get so deflated after losing to their crosstown rival, who was up and coming, had just taken step by step by step, getting up to their level. That was one of my favorite moments. And then rushing back here and just, I mean, everyone was here. The parking lot was full. Game days are just top notch, second to none.
You know, it is synonymous with a Xavier win that, hey, this is what we do. This is where we go celebrate. And, you know, it's a hot spot where, heck, you might be, you know, grabbing a drink at the bar or hanging out in the shed, and you might bump into a Xavier alum, a Kenny Freeze, you know, a former player that, you know, a lot of those guys are always hanging around there, which is awesome. And it's always good to see. And sometimes you get some fun team appearances too. So there's definitely plays a large role. And I think it's just synonymous, especially with the positive memories that you have with Xavier basketball.
It's just a great place to be. I mean, every time we come, you see we're all together. We love each other. I mean, you come and you see everybody, even people that you wouldn't really expect to see. And I think we always have a great time no matter what we see.
I love going to Dana's after the game. It's nice to hang out with the Xavier community, just be around all the people. Yeah, it's a great time, always. We played Marquette on the road, and we all watched it here at Dana's. One of the best days this semester. Coming here after the UConn win was awesome as well. So yeah, anytime we win, Dana's is electric. We gotta love it.
Electric factor.
Yes, it is.
Ka-chow.
Seeing all the alumni, seeing the community come back together, it's too fun. I just think like the Xavier community, this is the best example of it. I mean, seeing all the alumni coming back, they're buying us pictures. It seriously is the most fun place on earth.
I think just this environment, like, I mean, look at all the people here. Everyone's coming together after a big win. Even a loss, you know, just to have fun and all be together.
Yeah, I feel like us as students, we don't see many of our friends during the week, and you come here and I see people I've never seen before, and everybody comes together for a win over something we all love.
And love college pricing for alcohol. It's way better. And seeing all the students being so hyped up about all this, it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
And it's not just the students. If you look, you see all the parents, the grandparents. It's a legacy that's here. Everybody comes to Dana's. It is a great community. It's a great feeling. And it's awesome when it's a Xavier win.
That just puts a smile on my face, knowing that we've had a nice, more often than not, nice win over a top team. And their first thought is, we need to celebrate. We're going to Dana's. It's a nice little tingle in my heart, knowing that they're going to come here and we're all going to have a great night together.